What's the difference between an open row and a closed row? Hi, I'm Felipe Drago and welcome to Drago Drums. There's many people who don't know the difference between the two rows and I'm going to explain today. This is an open row and this is a closed row. This is your regular right, left, and the other one, the closed row, is the press row or buzz row. Basically, that's it. For example, the 5-stroke row played as an open row. Now played as a closed row. They sound very different. So, but how do you do that? I'm going to change now from the snare and the regular Pro Mark sticks that I use, that is the Stifferone signature, to the pad. Let's put it on top of the sticks. Let's sit on the sticks for a minute and let's use Don Familaro's pad sticks. Developing the open row is like developing everything. You start slow and go faster. Obviously, slower you can use the wrist to play. But the faster you go, it's not easier to use just the wrist. You need to apply fingers as well. And the technique for that I've learned with my very first drum teacher all those years ago in Brazil in the 80s is first you use your wrist, allowing the stick to bounce up, and then use your fingers to get the second stroke. The difference between this and the free stroke is the free stroke, when we play the free stroke, the stick comes up and the hand comes up. In order to apply the fingers, when we play this one, the stick comes up, but the hand stays down. And then you just close your fingers. So you leave the hand down, leave your fingers open, and then closed. Okay? I'm going to do a close shot sideways so you can see it perfectly. So now sideways, the motion, wrist, fingers. This motion, as I said before, my first teacher in Brazil, Taba Coutinho, he introduced me to this technique in the 80s. So again, the stick comes up after you play, but your hand stays down. You open your fingers, and then you close your fingers. And this is something you have to do for hours and hours and hours to get the timing. Obviously, because I'm doing it slow, I'm allowing the stick to go up a lot. The faster you go, the lower it is the height the stick you can allow the stick to go. But this is the basic motion. Practice one hand at a time, right hand first, left hand first, whatever you feel like. After you're very comfortable with this, then you do both hands at the same time, but always slowly. Let's go back to the other shot. So then after you practice a lot individually each hand, you put a metronome, and instead of going straight into the double stroke roll, you use the metronome, let's say 60 beats per minute, and at every click of the metronome, you do this. And then as you start getting more comfortable with the technique, then you put the metronome from 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 to 100 until the point where the metronome is so fast that you're going to be playing the stroke, the double stroke, right? Now let's talk about the buzz roll. For both rows, you need the rebound of the stick. For the open roll, you allow one rebound and you use your fingers to get the second stroke. And the reason I say to use the fingers for the double stroke is because then both strokes have the same strength, so they sound the same. Now, for the buzz roll, if we just allow the stick bounces many times, but those bounces, they start further apart and they go closer together as the motion dies. And we need when they go close together. So in order to get that from the get-go is we need to apply pressure to the tip of the stick. And that's why it's also called the press roll. And to practice this, you do the same thing as you would do with the open roll. You start with a metronome, 60 beats per minute, and playing quarter notes. Then you go up to 120. When you get to 120 playing quarter notes with the press, then you go back to 60 and play eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Same thing, 120 eighth notes, go back to 60, 16th notes, and so on. Also triplets and everything in between. Until you get, okay? So now, I'm gonna go back to the snare. Let's put the pad back there. Let's see if the sticks are gonna stay there. Well, they did. Let's go with the kit sticks. The buzz roll sounds much better on the snare than on the pad. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did for the buzz roll there, I'm gonna do here. But don't forget the snare. Let's do it again. Many people say there's not much application to the buzz roll in the drum set. That's not true. Listen to a drummer called Kenny Aronoff. He plays the buzz roll playing rock and apply in many different situations. Another drummer that you should listen for the buzz roll is the legendary Art Blakey, a jazz drummer who was in the heart of the bebop scene. He used to play buzz rolls a lot, and they still sound very impressive nowadays. So check out Kenny Aronoff and Art Blakey, just to start with. There are plenty of others who are great with the buzz rolls. Okay, so I hope you liked today's lesson. Subscribe to the channel, press the bell to get notifications. See you next time. Bye.